Let's be all. This is Jen Fremont. I'm gonna do a little thing here. I didn't even think about this when I started doing some videos tonight, but I went and looked in my magic cupboard, and I was thinking to myself, I need to put out some stuff that I haven't really done. This is something I've thought about, and these are my two favorite cards from the tarot. And I feel like I have a lot of affinity with the Star card, but also the Fool card has always. I think everybody kind of likes the Fool card. I think. I don't know. But then there's some people who have a really, I consider a kind of screwed up idea of what the Fool card is about. But they're usually cynical sort of people, and I tend to discount their interpretations of the tarot. Let's just put it that way. But then again, everybody interprets the tarot in their own way. So I can't say that my interpretations are not colored by my experiences too. I just kind of think that my experiences are uh, little more even. Let's just put it that way. But anyway, what I want to talk about in this video here is I started on this path about 1999 or so, and I lit my first candle on my altar, and uh, I did some stuff that scared the hell out of me, and so I did not really do much for several years. But in all that time, I kept reading and I kept reading and I kept reading and I kept learning about stuff. And, I did a few rituals in that time, but not really that much. And then I got laid off from my job in '06. And um, I discovered Meetup, and they had a witches group, and I started going to that and talking to people, and actually I found some people that knew what I was talking about, because previously it had just been me and the internet and some forums and stuff, back in the day when forums were somewhere you went to interact with people, which I miss nowadays. I mean, I guess there's some social media somewhere that lets you do that. I don't know. But I liked forums because I found a lot of good stuff on there. But then again, you found a lot of dickheads too. But that's kind of the nature of the internet in general, and the world in general. But anyway, from about '06 to, well, I feel like I did a whole lot of living between about '09. '09, a lot of stuff opened up for me, and I really hit things hard. And I really started studying stuff. And I got serious and told myself that, uh, if I'm going to do this right, I got to quit drinking, because I was not going to be able to do this and do that at the same time. And so I delved into that too, and delved into, the reasons why and stuff like that. And, I did a lot of amazing stuff. I went through Reiki classes. That was like a whole year of stuff in that. And I did a lot of tarot reading. I taught classes on tarot reading. So I really got deep into it. A friend of mine and I did a series on tarot, and we just about came to blows sometimes about trying to figure out a keyword list for these, which in a way kind of messed me up with tarot because I had always been much more of a intuitive reader where the card didn't really have a fixed meaning. It was what it was in the context of stuff, and putting those things together kind of messed that up. I've pretty much forgotten all of that stuff. I haven't used it in a long time, and it's just kind of slipped away. I remember some of the keywords, but I'm much more back to the way I used to read tarot, and that is intuitively. But something happened during that time because 2012 was coming up, and everybody thought it was going to be this wonderful, wonderful thing. But, everything that I had done, I basically, I got weaker and I got weaker, and things got harder and harder. And, December 21st came and went, and that day was just, my mother was having some medical things done that day, so I did not actually do any sort of magical stuff. But it seemed like everything else that I had done before, I couldn't really get it up anymore. And I looked at it here, and it was September 7th, I believe, 2013, when I started this channel. And I was still doing a lot of stuff, but I could do things, but it wasn't the same anymore. And it just got harder and harder, and other people experienced that too, where the energy that they had just sort of ebbed away. And I don't know if it came back for them or not. And I just kind of, a lot of stuff happened, a lot of changes happened, and it culminated in me moving to another state. And so a lot of the stuff that I feel like I've worked on through this has been just deeply personal stuff. It's not been, doing the amazing stuff that I did years ago. But I feel like I'm kind of climbing out of that hole now. And yeah, because if you notice, there was about a year there that I didn't put up anything on my channel here. And I'm trying to put out more content. But a lot of times what happens is, I get a bunch of ideas, I put them down, and then I put out videos for several days, and then I have to wait a while to figure out something else. But I always liked the Fool card because it was the start of something. And I knew that if I got that in a reading, that something was, it was the beginning of something. And it was, you were about to take the plunge into something, into the unknown. A lot of people would say, he's stepping off into the cliff, and it's a really bad thing because he doesn't recognize the precariousness of his situation. And I think to myself, well, I think it's not meant to be literal like that. And he's stepping into unknown territory with just what he has in his sack there, and a little bit of luck. The blossom as his hand is a little bit of luck. And in the darkest times, I've always taken comfort in the Star card. I've drawn this card several times just because I wanted to put my own spirit into it, and it's always helped me out because the key word we always used for this is hope. And as much as I don't like the word hope, at the time it was very comforting, and it's still comforting a lot of times. If I want, yeah, if I want to manifest something often, I will just dig out the star card and put it up on my altar. Just because I think of it a lot as manifestation too. But yeah, this has just been a quick little thing about this, and I put the knife that I use as an Antheme out there, just because to me it's about taking action and using those things you've got. The Fool is taking action. In the Goddess and the Star is taking action. She's removing all the obstacles from the way, pouring them back into the pool. She's got a foot in the pool so that she is part of that pool, yet separate. And the Fool is taking the action of going ahead, even though it may be painful. And that's my video for today. Blessed be y'all. This is Jen Fremont.